Alright guys, welcome to episode 5 of the Alan Wake story breakdown series. So, we'll get straight into it. This is episode 5, The Clicker. Episode 5 begins with Deerfest starting and Alan in a jail cell. You see a flash of the crazy woman Weaver telling Thomas she will keep the key safe. You and Barry wake up and Nightingale has all the pages now. Nightingale calls you Raymond Chandler and says he now has all the evidence. The lights flash and Alan has a vision of Alice. The power goes out and the sheriff lets us out and Nightingale is taken by the darkness. We then head to our office to get our stuff. We pick up 2 pages just outside the jail cell, and the first one depicts Nightingale taking out his flask when he got to the page about him taking out his flask. The other is about Nightingale being taken by the darkness, which we just witnessed. The sheriff tells us Weaver lives in the old power plant and that she can get us there pretty quick with the helicopter. We leave Barry here and the sheriff tells Barry to call people on a list and tell them Night Springs, which is code for something. The gate is broken, so we need to find a way around through the rooftop. We are attacked by crows on the roof, but take them out with your flashlight. We open the gate and let the sheriff through. You are then attacked by Taken, but the sheriff shows she's a strong ally and deals with them. More Taken appear, and then the Deerfest parade float drives down the street, almost hitting Alan. You enter the diner to find a page detailing Barry in the police station and a window breaking and the lights going out. In the page, he also texts Alan to hurry up. You then follow the sheriff to the helicopter. As you make your way through town to the helicopter, you find a supply chest and end up at a gate where you have to fight a few waves of Taken. We end up in town hall and have to find the keys for the helicopter. Oh, sorry about that. Fucking burp. I didn't even actually burp, it just came up. It was weird. Barry then texts us to hurry up, which means he'll be attacked any second. We find a page in Town Hall. It details the darkness being angry and weakened because the light had set Alan free. We find the helicopter keys and head out the front to see Barry running towards us, and gets a truck and a bus thrown at him, barely making it inside. Now we need to rescue him. We find a statue on the way detailing the formation of Bright Falls, which wasn't a town until 1878 when the mining company arrived. We enter a bookstore, finding a page about Weaver, and this reveals she's the one who's been doing the graffiti and supply chest around town. We get behind the bookstore but don't see Barry. Then a flare fires in the air and we head that way, thinking it's Barry, and the helicopter's over there anyway. We find a page in the back of a truck which details Barry finding flare guns in the general store, and Barry thinking he's a hero and suiting up. We make it to the church, but the door won't budge. We have to fight off more Taken, and then we get the door open. We find a page inside, and it talks about the darkness being frustrated by having to directly follow the story and being so close to getting Alan. It then says the darkness can attack Alan indirectly, though, sending puppets after him. Could this mean Nightingale was one of those puppets? I'm sure we'll find out next episode. We meet with Barry in the church parking lot and head up the stairs. We then find a page detailing Alice in the dark place and Alan and her being able to sense one another. We make it to the helicopter and the sheriff says she needs a while to prep it for takeoff. We then have to defend against waves of Taken. You are attacked by a lot of them, have a lot of things thrown at you and in front of you. But then you kill all of them and get on the helicopter and head to the old power plant. You land down the road from the power plant. You are attacked by crows, and this makes the sheriff pull the helicopter out. You have to make your way through alone. You enter an old warehouse to find a radio just playing a song. You are then immediately attacked by Taken. You then end up in a transformer yard and have to figure out how to cross the river. You find a page in the yard about Weaver being mad at Alan for being careless and reckless. And since the terrible days in the 70s, she's been protecting the town and only wants to rest. You find another page detailing Alan's plan to finish the story. He needs to get to the typewriter to write the final page and then the ending to save Alice. You come across a bridge that you have to cross and find a sign nearby detailing it's named after a World War II vet and he died after saving 2 kids from a crash in this spot. The sheriff shows back up in the helicopter saying she'll provide support. They are then attacked by more crows and have to leave you. You then enter the powerhouse and Weaver shines a light, power plant, And Weaver shines a light in Alan's face and explains he can help, and she says she's been waiting a long time for us. She says what we need is in the well lit room at the dam, and we need to go through her secret tunnel, which is a well lit pipe, but we have to reroute power. We have to reroute the power to go in it and follow Weaver. Weaver talks about being jealous of Barbara. Oh, sorry. Now that we have rerouted the power, we go back in and follow Weaver. Weaver talks about being jealous of Barbara for being with Thomas. Part of her was glad she had an accident, and then Thomas started writing and woke the darkness. She says he tried to bring her back, but you can't do that, she said. He tried writing everything out of the world he wrote, and that's why no one remembers him. She says he was famous, and Tom used her to build the well lit room, and put it there. She says she says Tom still talks to her through the TV. You walk through the pipe and call Barry on the way. Tell them to meet you at the dam, and then you feel a shake and the phone goes quiet. You leave the pipe to see if they are alive. You see the helicopter crash, and Weaver says she'll meet you at the dam. You find a page about the helicopter crashing and detailing hundreds of crows going into the helicopter, and then they went down. You make it to the crash site after fighting some crows to find the helicopter empty and continue down your path to find them. A flare shoots off in front of you and you hear fighting. You get to the dam and fight off a wave of Taken and head to the dam. You make it to the elevator of the dam and have to fight off Taken as it goes down. The elevator comes down and you head up. You come across a door and hold it open for the sheriff and Barry, and then something falls blocking you from falling. So now you have to find a new way alone. You find a page up on your way detailing Zane writing him and his existence away so the darkness would sleep. But he left a loophole, that anything of his stored in a shoebox would remain. You're then attacked by a bunch of Taken when you get to the top of the dam, but there's a spotlight which makes quick work of them. You're then attacked by the dark presence in a tornado form and must escape it. Alan runs as fast as he can away from the darkness, heading down some stairs until adding your character to the dam. You go into a building on the dam and head down some stairs, and you must run as the catwalk is falling underneath you. You then see a bunch of lights and see Barry and the sheriff in a lit up building, and you run to them, barely making it. Now you are heading down in an elevator into the dam. You find the well-lit room behind a giant safe door. In the room on the table is a shoebox. Inside was an autobiographical memory from Alan's childhood, but it was written by Thomas Zane. It talks about Alan's mom giving him the clicker as he was scared of the dark. Alan then is confused because he gave Alice the clicker, but it's somehow here, and Zane had to write it bring it into existence. The episode ends with Alan saying he can now get to her and finish it. This ends episode 5, The Clicker. So not much honestly happened this episode, to be quite fair. There was some stuff revealed, yeah. Like, at least part of Alan's childhood was written by Thomas Zane. So that's interesting. And that's the only, well, actually, yeah. Because that's the only thing of Zane's writing that stayed around, was in that shoebox. So, technically, the only thing that really happened was us finding that page revealing Zane gave Alan the clicker, basically. For what? We don't know yet. Alan seems to know. We don't. But that's about all that happened. It was mainly an episode about going somewhere just to get the clicker. We don't know what that's going to do, though, next episode, so. But next episode, we'll be finishing the base game, and then we got 2 DLCs, which I don't know how they're going to work. I mean, they're going to be after the main game, right? Logically. Unless they're prequels or different scenarios. But I think one's called The Rider and the other's called The Signal. So I don't know what they could be. I think one is either going to be like The Rider. It might be a prequel with Zane. or it'll be after the main story with Alan. The Signal, though, that could be like a separate scenario in the main story. So that could be something to do with another character or something. I don't know. We'll see. They both might just be Alan. I don't know. But that was episode 5 of Alan Wake. A shorter episode, to be quite fair. And yeah, like I said, not really that much happened. It was a lot of just killing Taken, basically. It's about all it was. It was about 2 hours of just killing Taken. There's very few story moments in this episode. At least that mattered. There were some funny moments here and there with Barry, because he's Barry, but other than that, it was just a lot of combat, which is fine, because I do actually enjoy the combat of this game. I'm curious to see how the combat of Alan Wake 2 is going to be compared to this. Because is it as niche as this, where you got to use the light as much? Or is it different? Because I don't know the story for Alan Wake 2. I don't know if it... I know Alan's in it, obviously, and he's in the Dark World or whatever. I just don't know if Alan Wake 2 is still focused on the Taken and the darkness. I would assume it is, because it is in Bright Falls, I guess, huh? So I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited to play it. We're almost done with this, though, and then I'm going to play through Sherlock Holmes The Awakened, and I'll probably plat that before I play Alan Wake 2, and then, yeah, then we'll start the Alan Wake 2 series of me doing these little story breakdown videos. Anyway, though, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below what you guys want to see on the channel in the future, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next one. Stay safe out there, and peace out, guys.